We are joined now by Valerie Opipari, the president of the Association of Medical School Pediatric Department Chairs. Valerie, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Good morning, Jennifer. Happy to be here.
Well, let's start with what you're looking forward to most at this year's PAS convention.
Sure. Well, I always look forward to this convention. This is the single largest meeting in the Pediatric Academic Societies that brings all of the sister societies together, all of the organizations across the country that care so desperately about child health. This is our one big meeting where we share new scientific discoveries, we meet and greet old friends. It's a place where young people get to launch some of their academic work. It's really just a great meeting and we're thrilled to be here.
So let's talk a little bit more about AMSPDEC and what you are looking to do to improve child health.
Well, AMSPDEC is the organization that all of the pediatric department chairs belong to, and that organization is committed to the core things that we do in our departments, which is first training the next generation of pediatric generalists and subspecialists, second being the home for the training of medical students in pediatric disciplines, third, the provision of care to a significant number of the nation's children with some of the most complex diseases, and third, developing new science that actually propels the disciplines of pediatric medicine forward. So all three of those core missions are key to what we do, and this meeting is in part related to all three of those core missions with our trainees here, new discoveries here, and of course the work that we do in collaboration with all the sister societies.
I'm fascinated by when you keep saying the new discoveries, new scientific discoveries. Is there anything in particular that pops out to you, or is that what you're hoping to discover in the sessions?
Well, that's what we discover in the sessions. I mean, we know a little bit about the work through the abstracts that get vetted through the program committee, and we have a pretty good idea of what's going to be presented, at least in terms of what the title tells us and what the contents of the abstract tell us. But you know, it's always very interesting at this meeting when you hear the final presentations to see just the significance of the work that gets presented here and in this community. So,
can you tell us a little bit about your presentation?
Well, my presentation is a little different from earth-shattering science. We have a session that's a collaboration amongst a number of the pediatric associations, AMSPDEC, the Federation of Pediatric Programs, the American Board of Pediatrics, the AAP, and we're having a session that's going to discuss and perhaps speculate on some of the challenges for the workforce going forward. It's a tremendously changing period in healthcare right now, with many new technological advances. The knowledge that we're gaining in pediatric disciplines is changing at lightning speed, and we know that there's a major issue with access to pediatric subspecialists across this country in particular disciplines. So how is the technology going to change how we care? What will the technology and the advancement in science mean for the provision of care? How do we deal with the costs of medical care? This is another big part of the challenge that we face right now. And so we're going to be having a session where we'll look at some of the data, we'll speculate on perhaps some of the implications of the data, and hopefully have a very robust discussion around workforce issues.
Very important work. Valerie, thanks so much for joining us.
Oh, it's a pleasure. Have a great meeting.
You too.